how it is managed on the global level, regional, national, subnational, and of course European level. Let me share the screen and you will say if you see my screen, the presentation. Just a moment. Dear colleagues, do you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes. Let me start. Welcome everyone. And in these lessons, I have proposed uh, to to get with you in contact as well of the main tasks as being establishing the main principle in policies and regulation, what is going on with circular economy, and for all of us to understand why it is development in different domains, in different ministries of resort as well. And today we will pass with the establishing a set of universal circular economy policy goals to achieve the transition at scale. In such a way, we will develop here all the goals and example of policy measures as well on the categories of the policy goals, and we will find out the universal goals of circular economy based on the policy at a global level. Of course, we will pass through the building a system solution framework, how the universal circular economy policy goals are interconnected between different domains, different ministry, different governments at the different levels of hierarchy, as well as global, European, regional, national, as well, and of course from local level. We will see the main important development policies for a smart and inclusive circular transition in Europe, as being Europe the main basic leader in climate change as well, promoting this one. And of course, we will develop a national calls. We will see all the developments that existing from 1999 till 2023, all the roadmaps, strategies over time and geography. I will show as previous lessons all the links to all the roadmaps existing for circular economy, but this will be the sweeter at the end of the lesson as well. And after that, I will share the presentation. You will get in touch and you can access all the links and get acquainted with all roadmaps, strategies, official documents regarding circular economy. Let us go through the introduction and say that really speaking, circular economy is a systems-based solution. It is centered on design. It is also tackles global challenges like climate change, biodiversity, loss, and pollution. It incorporates as well more material flows. Its principle are applied to our resource systems, including water and energy. Of course, circular economy transforms our throwaway economy into one way, eliminate waste, as we know, circulate resources and adopt nature positive, low carbon, resource efficient system and actions. As well, for you to remember about the key elements of the circular economy, this is for what we will begin. We will say that we all know all the key elements of the circular economy, and here we need to note that all the elements are interconnected and may interact at multiple points within the circular economy as well. The main three key principles of the circular economy, as you know, I first of all, eliminate waste and pollution. The second one is circulate and reuse products and materials at their highest value as well, because we know upcycling, downcycling, that we discussing also with our students from the master degree level at university as well. And of course, the third one key principle is regenerate nature as well. Let us go through the establishing a set of universal circular economy policy goals, because here we need to find out what are the main tasks that are consisted on the global level that we need to achieve the transition at a large scale as well. The circular economy, dear colleagues, offers opportunity as well for better growth, we know, through an economic model that is resilient, distributed, diverse, and inclusive. It, of course, it tackles the root causes of global challenges such as climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution, creating in such a way an economy in which nothing becomes waste, no waste, and which is regenerative by design. According to the industry, begin their transition towards the circular economy. Governments are developing circular economy roadmaps and strategies. These are official documents, both economy-wide and sector-based. This activity is vital to scale the transition. And as momentum builds, it is critical to agree on a clear direction of travel that reduces fragmentation. And of course, we can say about the complexity and take into account also the global nature of supply chain and production and consumption systems. As you know, at the global level exists 5 universal circular economy policy goals, around which governments and businesses can align to achieve their common objective, because everything is interconnected. Applicable across sectors and local contexts, these policy goals can work in conjunction, in complementary, help governments build healthy economic recoveries and lower the cost of transition for business as well. Here we need to mention that by recognizing that the relevant policies are interconnected, we can avoid creating a patchwork of fragmented solutions. And by aligning nationally and, of course, internationally, we can reduce friction across borders and, of course, lower costs. In this way, close to the cooperation also minimizes the risks of individual policy measures, remaining as well isolated in a wider, unchanged economic system that's based on a linear take-make waste approach. Here we can see these 5 policies that are focused on these 5 goals at the universal level as well. It comes at the scales with different solutions, economy across sectors, and of course around the world. Let us stay and discover each of these goals. And according to these 5 goals, we will discover a new trajectory, a new travel, as to say, in the future, how it is done basically on the government documents and how it is recognized at the highest level regarding world, European as well, and country level. The first goal regarding as universal goal to make a policy is regarding stimulate design for the circular economy. What does it mean? It means that enable all progress from fast-moving consumer goods to long-term assets to be designed, accessed, and used in ways that eliminate waste and pollution. No waste and no pollution, and lead to the effective and economically attractive circulation of products and materials on the market. Stimulate the design in such a way and production of food as well and renewable materials in ways that contribute to increasing the return on invested energy, reducing climate impact, and fostering regeneration of natural system. It is based on the following targets as well. In developing product policies that are focusing on high quality design for sustainable goods and packaging. Here we can include emphasis on durability, reusability, design of repairability and remanufacturing, recyclability, compostability where relevant. And of course, we can speak here about the penalties of planned or premature obsolescence and the sharing of the information and tracking through product label tags and digital products, material, passports, and others. Of course, in the stimulate design for the circular economy, it means encouraging regenerative production through product and formulation design, adapting chemical legislation, of course, to enable circular economy outcomes, and not at the end to develop standards to support trade and circular economy, as goods, services, and of course system. The second one goal that is main important also as universal in creating the policy is promoting the development of business models in resource management system that keep products and materials in the economy and their highest possible value. This means that this is enabled by the design and of course the principles and approaches laid out in the goal first that we have spoke about it. This doesn't mean that manage resources to preserve value means that it is creating tax and procurement policies regarding that foster repair, sharing, resale, and remanufacturing maximize asset use and return on invested energy. Here we can speak of course, about the developing and harmonizing collection and sorting policies. We can exemplify here as regarding such as separate collection and management of materials. This is leading also to the high quality materials and products. Also to the goal, though, we can refer to the targets of developing secondary material and byproduct markets. We can here use by implementing special planning policies to enhance material flow and use. Here it means that it is based on strengthening resource loops through extending producer responsibility policies and of course deposit return schemes to support circular opportunities from reuse to recycling. On the third goal that is also main important is make the economics work. In such a way, it is needed to be created an economic incentives and set regulatory requirements that in such a way enable circular economy solutions to become the norm rather than the exception, thereby unlocking benefits at scale. Here we can speak about the aligning taxation and fee incentives, reforming and where relevant deploying subsidies, attaching condition to state aid and government funds as well. Also we can tag here the using public procurement to grow new markets, ensuring transparency through taxonomy and disclosure requirements, and of course reviewing digital and data regulation in such a way, and others of course. The fourth goal is invest in innovation and infrastructures and skill. Here is really a very important investment because invest public money and stimulate private sector investment in developing the skills required to create circular economy opportunities and of course ensure an inclusive transition, supports innovation and develop the infrastructure necessary to scale the transition. What does it mean here? This means that we need the foundation, not only from the government, from the ministries, also we need from the NGO, from different companies that can put their donor foundation in this, providing in such a way interdisciplinary research funds, offering in such a way early stage venture funding, of course, to build this capacity through international aid. Also, this can be tagged by incorporating the circular economy in schools, in higher education curricula and kindergartens, of course, and to inform population regarding this one and to develop special training courses, program as well. To improve and to enhance circular economy. And the final the fifth goal, as to say, is collaborate for system change. What does it mean? It means that the foster responsive public-private collaboration across value chains to remove barriers, develop new policies, and of course, it is aligned, extending existing ones, work across the government departments, nationally, and of course, international to build in such a way the policy alignment and durable change and measure to progress towards embedding a circular economy approach across sector. The targets as well in this goal of collaboration for systems change, this means that it is needed to be promoted the establishment and adoption of multi-stakeholders across value chain, inclusive and responsible working mechanisms to develop system solutions, and of course to build public-private society. In such a way, it will be developing and implementing awareness raising campaigns and of course accelerating progress through measurement and use of data. Here we can say that circular economy transition is more important than ever nowadays because the circular economy offers a solutions framework for economic renewal, innovation, and industrial transformation. You can see here that the studies and all the literature in science shows that the circular economy can contribute towards tackling the remaining 45% of greenhouse gas emission that cannot be resolved by transitioning to renewable energy alone. We can't promote energy transition as well by promoting renewable energy sources without circular economy. You can see in this figure that how it is the main important is the circular economy in different sectors as well, and they are complementary, strengthening between there. And of course, it offers a solution to the 90% of biodiversity loss and water stress that is brought about by resource extraction and processing. Pursuing the current linear system is projected to lead the resource use nearly doubling from 2011 to 2060, which will further exacerbate the global challenges and, of course, will not address issues of supply chain breadthness and, of course, uneven distribution of benefits. Here we need to mention, but the next lesson that we will have on the 19th of June, as Ruchira said, we will discuss about sustainable development goals and circular economy. But here is, I want to resume as well as to be the importance of sustainable development goals. And we can say that in this context, the centrality of a circular economy to the delivery of sustainable development goals, 12 sustainable consumption and production, and through this, at least 11 additional, such as Sustainable Development Goal 9 for inclusive sustainable industrialization, together with innovation and infrastructure, has been recognized by the United Nations International Resource Panel. You can see here all the from the 70th of Sustainable Development Goals that the main important are useful and using in the circular economy domain as well. And of course, circular economy offers a solution framework for economic renewal, innovation, and industrial transformation through new forms of value creation that emerge from redesigning production and consumption systems. The circular economy is an innovation agenda that can lead to better growth as well. Here we have some example as well for you to see in what opportunities and benefits circular economy can be improved in what sectors. As you can see, plastic packaging, fashion and food. Of course, we can some issues from some example, and we can say that really in a circular economy for plastic, reusable packaging alone represents more than $10+ billion innovation opportunity that can deliver significant user and business benefits, including brand loyalty, improved user experience, and such and others. Regarding the fashion, there is a lot of literature, specialty that are using fashion design as well, and here we can address to the $500+ billion value lost annually due to clothing, underutilization, and the lack, of course, of effective collection and recycling in the country. Here we can speak about the circular designs and business models that keep products and their highest value, such as well as repairs, we can see re-commerce, rental, remake, and all of these can drive innovation and lead to improved human and ecosystem health. Regarding the food, we have a lot of more than generation move on annual benefits worth of 2.7 trillion by 2050 globally dollars based on greenhouse gas emission reductions, water savings, avoided land degradation, reduced health costs, and of course new economic opportunities. Let us see the meanwhile of the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development that analysis had done, and of course a multiple studies, a lot of studies indicates that the adoption of circular economy policies will achieve an average net positive employment again. I will show you how it will create it, and now let us pass to the examples through all over the world on the continent how the circular economy policies are adopted. As regarding, for the example, in policy initiatives around the world, we see in the North America, the Canadian government has commissioned the Council of Canadian Academies to assess opportunities for a national circular economy, and of course, the United States House Select Committee on the Climate Crisis has recommended the development of a circular economy roadmap. This we are speaking on the North America. We will take on the continent. After that, we will pursue to the countries as well, to the regions. And you, at the last of the lesson, you will see all the roadmaps existing and explored all over the world regarding the circular economy as well. Let us see what is doing in the Latin America. In Latin America, dear students and the Caribbean, following the fourth session of the United Nations Environment Assembly, a regional coalition of national governments, international institutions, and strategic partners is being developed to share best practice and, of course, to accelerate the transition across the continent. Regarding the European Commission's second circular economy action plan, there exist two of them from 2015 to 2020 as well. We see 2020, 2024. It forms a central pillar of the European Green Deal. This doesn't mean that this is a real vision for growth, but puts the European Union on course to become the first climate neutral continent. And in parallel, we can see an increasing number of European countries have been also developing complementary national strategies, spanning from Finland in the north in 2016, for example, to Spain in the south in 2020. And of course, Netherlands has set out targets for the country's economy to become fully circular by 2050. If we speak about African Alliance on Circular Economy, we can find out that the studies shows that it is developing a secretariat hosted by the African Development Bank to unlock development funding in line with circular economy principles as well. Regarding across Asia and Oceania, we see that several national government initiatives are integrated a circular economy approach with policy objectives on sustainable production and consumption, as well as economic development and, of course, improved well-being. Here, regarding across Asia and Oceania, the circular economy is also generating attention in this region as a response to global waste management challenges, including marine plastic litter. Here I want to show you how all the actors have a role to play in bringing the circular economy transition to life. It doesn't mean that you as a student, colleagues, researchers from university also has a big role in this world as well. Let me convince you about this one. Policymakers, businesses, and finance sector, of course, have a particularly strong leadership role to play in this transition to circular economy, of course. But there are different groups that also influence this circular economy transition. Of course, policymakers and businesses can directly determine which materials and products are put on the market and how long they stay in use. This decision, often referred to as upstream, are critical. Policymakers, of course, inform this upstream decision and their capacity to set the regulatory incentives and disincentives and the associated enabling conditions. Of course, businesses make upstream choices through their production, design and manufacture decision, as well as through their offering and marketing of goods and services. Let us see further regarding this leadership roles sit within a wider context where every actor has a role to play. Regarding our situation as we are professors, students, researchers, assistants, regarding the universities, we can say that universities and research centers play a critical part in offering valuable insights, of course, that can provide new solutions and help drive economies forward. Of course, here we can speak about citizens and civil society. They also play a key role in indicating the changes they want to see. For example, we can speak here about through their uptake of affordable circular business models and, of course, products, their participation in collection system, and, of course, their exercise of the right to repair. Also, the citizens and society can also play the role of holding other parties to account. In such a way, the economy will and remain complex. Here we can say that the value of working together to understand these opportunities that exist in and across value chains and the interaction between different systems play a key role in affording and accelerating circular economy energy transition. Now, dear colleagues, is the time to harness the momentum by aligning these goals that will allow circular economy innovation to emerge at scale. What does it mean? That the importance of building subnational, national, and international policy alignment is rising up the agenda. Here we can say that through a wide range of measures, policymakers can create a new level playing field in which circular economy decisions are the norm as well. Here, policymakers can create this wall, and through a wide range of measures, policymakers can create a new level playing field in which circular economy decisions are the norm. Here we can see that the current linear economy generates significant negative externalities at all stages. For example, we can speak here about the costs to society which accumulate over time related to pollution, climate change, biodiversity loss, and water stress, of course. By internalizing such costs, what does it mean? If we bring them into the market mechanism, for example, by putting a price on pollution, this can mean a very powerful incentive to move towards the circular economy. Only through institutional structures and legislation, policymakers can define which costs relating to economic activities must be accounted for. What does it mean? It means that defining who bears the cost of negative externalities, be they societal, for example, inequalities and ill health, or environmental, for example, air, soil pollution, as well water. And this way, we can find out and provide this clarity about the direction of travel and in which trajectory it can be helped in different sectors, public, private sectors, investment, that will be supported by transition. Creating common direction, a set of universal circular economy policy goals. Here we can say that the goals recognize the interconnectedness of the policy measures involved in the transitioning to circular economy. And we need to mention here, and we need to understand that no single goal can create a systemic fix, not least as an intensive to operate in a linear economy are deeply and not also obviously embedded in. With this in mind, the goals intentionally focus on addressing the root causes rather than the symptoms of the current linear economy. And here we can say firmly that together they provide a framework for a common direction of travel to accelerate circular economy transition. In such a way, policymakers will need to ensure the transition that is adapted to different contexts. That's why While the policy goals for the circular economy are universal, the transition will need to respond to local opportunities, strengths, and challenges. Here we need to remember, if the goals, policy goals that we have discussed already are universal, we need to adapt them, and it is needed to be respond to the local opportunities, to strength, and to the situation, geographical situation of each country, of each locality as well. Let us see how it is a main example all over the world. I think that's developing policy for a smart and inclusive circular transition in Europe. Let us discuss about Europe, because the transition towards a circular economy relies on a supporting policy framework. As we know, that European Union is currently recognized as a global leader in climate action and has adopted a comprehensive policy package to reach the objectives set out in its Circular Economy Action Plan. We can't refuse, and we need to speak about European Union, because here it is adopted, and in the last years they progress a lot in the regarding and creating roadmaps, action plans, strategies, and legislation regarding circular economy as well. It is recommended that European Union strengthens its policy framework in several areas, including in such a way: in adoption of circular economy targets, product policy and law, standardization, waste law, public procurement, and industrial policy. As well, European Union member states, and not only member states, and of course we can speak about the countries that are near member states of the European Union, can support the developments through complementary policy as well. Here we need to mention, dear colleagues, that over the past 20 years, Europe has made really a significant progress in climate policy, with ambitious targets in pioneering policies such as European Union's emissions trading scheme. Yet there are several reasons to expect that the climate transition will also affect resource use. Firstly, we can need to say that the climate transition requires minerals for grid components such as batteries and electric vehicles. We will discuss further about it. It is regarding International Energy Agency, the study and the databases from 2021, which could create a resource problem. Additional mining may be required, leading to stakeholder conflicts. In such a way, we can say that circular economy strategies such as extending product lifespans and improving recycling can, in this way, reduce the need for new resources. In these cases, the ecology of scarce mineral deposits, innovation in materials technology, including substitution, will be very essential. What are the objectives and scope in European Union policy? Public policy intervention at all levels, international, European Union, national, regional, and local, are essential for the transition to a circular economy, and it is needed to be complementary, and which level play a distinct role. Regarding the European Union regulation govern products, chemical waste, while member states can adopt policies such as environmental taxes. This is regarding reuse and recycling infrastructure and public procurement guidelines. Here we can speak about local policies on public procurement, recycling infrastructure can also support the transition. In such a way, European Union has embraced the circular economy concept through 2 action plans. And we know very well they are strategies targeting waste streams and initiatives such as Sustainable Product Initiative. And of course, circular economy is also integral to the Green Deal, as we know. Given this context, it is good time to evaluate what European Union and member states have done to promote circular economy and explore how Europe can lead the circular economy policy and standardization while ensuring competitiveness in its industries. We can say here that sometimes European Union exerts significant global influence through the Brussels effect. which it is significant that the regulations shape global standards due to the size and importance of its single market. As we know here, we have a brief review of European circular economy policies as well. You can see that different environment action program, as we see the 6th, the 7th, now we have the 8th. We can see that the circular economy as a distinct policy area didn't emerge in isolation. It was built by earlier policy addressing regarding the waste, resources, green growth, product regulation, and of course innovation. And you can see from 2002, the 6th Community Environment Action Plan, on the 6th one, regarding the decision of energy community, it will take through all over the world to the 7th Community Environment Action Program as well. And of course, you see Europe 2020, that's regarding that are connected between them. And of course, it didn't merge in isolation. It is going on together and progressing, enhancing as well further regarding these policies, as you can see. Of course, the European Union has developed two circular economy action plans. We are speaking about the European Commission from 2015, European Commission 2020, that build on concepts from previous policies such as life cycle, thinking and improving cycling systems, while introducing several new elements. What new elements were introducing regarding these two action plans? It was focusing large on preserving resource value through reuse, repair, remanufacturing, and high quality recycling. Of course, we can speak about the European Commission 2020 integration of previously siloed products waste and chemical policies to resolve conflicts. We can speak a life cycle approach covering production, consumption, and recycling. We can discuss about the new policies such as recycled content mandates about the bottles and batteries polyvinyl which address past failures. And of course, we don't need to forget about more comprehensible policies to address the issue for plastics. This most notably through the Single-Use Plastic Directive, the European Parliament and the Council of the European Union from 2019, and of course through bans, usage, restriction, and information as well. About the product policy development, product regulation are crucial for advancing the circular economy as well, with numerous policies adopted over the past, as to say, in the past 20 years to cover environmental aspects as well. Here we can see examples of existing European Union product laws. We can see that since the first of European Union Circular Economy Action Plan, current laws have started to address product lifetimes and the repairability of products. Here we can mention 3 new European Union laws are set to transform the product regulation landscape in the coming years. We are speaking about the proposed revision of the construction products regulation is also of relevance here, as it is to say it is aimed to strengthen the circular economy practices in construction. And you can see the type of intervention here in this table regarding the removing toxic substances from products, as well the examples of European Union laws. Here we will discuss only because we'll discuss only the main important European Union laws, as the main existing as well is the Eco Design for Sustainable Products Regulation that was adopted in European Union. And of course, this Eco Design for Sustainable Products Regulation replaces the current Eco Design Directive with a wider scope. And in such a way, it covers most product types. It sets eco-design requirements to promote circularity, focusing on durability, reliability, recyclability, and of course, recycled content. The Eco-Design for Sustainable Products Regulation also contains important legal provision on disputed terms such as remanufacturing and of course, refurbishment. Here we need to mention that in this regulation, it was introduced new tools. The new tools was identified as digital product passports. This digital product passports, dear colleagues, requires that products sold in the European Union must have an attached identifier that, of course, shares detailed information about materials used, manufacturing process, and, of course, recyclability. Another example of existing European Union product laws is battery regulation that was adopted. We can say that eco design sustainable regulation. This regulation targets batteries, introducing recycled content requirements and digital battery passports. What does it mean? It also contains rules aiming to extend battery lifespans. To promote in such a way, we know that the battery has two lives, da? First, the primary life and the second life of a battery application for batteries. And of course, it ensures that the batteries be available as spare parts for several years after a product is released on the market. In such a way, the battery has the second life that can be improved. Another law is the regulation on circularity requirements for vehicle design on the management of the end-of-life vehicles proposed. This proposed law contains some similar provisions, but what is important, it is related to vehicles as the above, such as digital passports and recycled content requirements for new cars, particularly for plastic as well. These laws create a new framework for products, batteries, and vehicles, focusing on extending lifetimes through repair, refurbishment, and of course, remanufacturing, improving recycling markets with recycled content rules, and of course, enhancing information sharing via digital passports. Waste policy. Here we need to speak about the Waste Framework Directive. These revisions require member states to collect more waste. In such a way, it can be included construction, demolition, textiles, and promote reuse. Additionally, specific policy packages are being developed for waste streams, including plastics, textile, and of course, construction waste. Here about the action plan of circular economy, European Commission 2020, it contains 5 planned policies, and of course it makes production processes more resource efficient. About data standardization, here European Union has stated its intention to lead development. It doesn't mean that standardization, European Union requires to be international, recognized with standardization that are referred to the voluntary standards developed by standardization bodies. For example, we can speak here about the European Committee for Standardization, the International Electrotechnical Commission, and of course, International Standard Organization. Here we have product policies among European Union member states. As you see, you can see consumer information on product reliability. We can have examples as well as France has implemented a mandatory repair index for a range of products, including smartphones, laptops, televisions, washing machines, of course, and others. Consumer information on product durability, we can speak that France intends, for example, to involve its repair index into a durability index in 2024. This new index will assess factors such as product reliability or robustness, reflecting intrinsic performance, proper maintenance, and relevant consumer information, of course. Other product policies regarding criminalization of planned obsolescence. Here we can speak also about the France has made planned obsolescence a criminal offense and has provided a legal definition of this concept. Repair fund, product labeling, and eco-modulation. There is really, regarding this, was adopted the system of variable fees in extending producer responsibility, scheme based on the product's lifespan, and of course, repairability and recyclability attributes here. Extended mandatory consumers guarantee, we can say here about that some European countries have extended the legal consumer guarantee period. For example, if you speak about Sweden, has recently introduced a 3-year guarantee period for most products. Tax incentives for repair services. We see that certain countries and European regions have introduced tax incentives for repair services, including in such a way reductions and value-added tax for repairs. And of course, don't forget about repair vouchers that also are important, because some cities in Austria provide repair vouchers to subsidize the consumer repairs at the local service providers. Of course, in such a way, Austria has introduced a national voucher scheme for electronic devices. Supporting infrastructure for reuse. Here, of course, we can say, as an example, numerous cities of the European Union are encouraging reuse by offering infrastructure. This is sound by the directive as well, recycling centers that facilitate in such a way the diversion of items from recycling to reuse. And of course, don't forget about the product policy among European Union member states, are voluntary eco-labeling schemes. Here, it is needed to mention this in addition to European Union's voluntary eco-labeling scheme, but there are various national and regional eco-labeling initiatives. For example, we can speak such as Germany Blue Angel, to those developed by industries or non-governmental organizations. Here, dear colleagues, it is foreseen that circular economy policies will need to be increasingly integrated within climate policy developments, as resource use and impact on climate and ecosystem are often closely related. And of course, furthermore, we can say that circular economy policies are likely to gain geopolitical importance in the future, as they can help, of course, reduce the Europe's dependence on resource imports. Let us speak about the development of national calls to action roadmaps and strategies, how it looks like over the time, and of course on geography. Here we can say that if you can see through overview of calls to action, roadmaps and strategies overview of countries that have developed this publication, we can say that really from 1999, the studies, the literature shows us that 75 national calls to action, 27 are calls to action. Roadmaps, we can identify 30, and operational strategy identified 18. Have been launched to give a summary. In totally, we can say 71 since 2016. Of course, this publication varies significantly in ambition, detail, quality, and of course, objective commitment. Only a few countries, such as to say Japan, Denmark, and Netherlands, we can see that they completed several iterations, and many are in the process of doing so. I will show you at the end, as you see, all the links to all the roadmaps of circular economy strategies, as well regarding Japan, Denmark, and Netherlands, because they are by this in such a way as to mention, they strengthening the governance and clarity of actions, because they improved every time their legislation in such a way. And we need to mention here, as regarding to Japan, launched a national circular economy vision in 1999, followed by a fundamental plan for establishing a sound of material cycle society in 2003, and of course 2008. As to see here, let us identify the roadmap type, the volume of roadmaps, and of course the description of it, of the roadmap type. And regarding this, we will show some examples of countries announcing the roadmap type. As to say, as the roadmap type call to action, as we said that we have 27. Here, regarding the description, you can say that the call to action is a publication aiming to kickstart national dialogue and, of course, coordinate an action on the circular economy. Call to action serves as a precursor to a roadmap or strategy. What it can include? It can include national circularity gap reports elaborated by Circular Economy Foundation, of course. And regarding the example list of countries, we can see here in this table and speak about Australia, Austria, Denmark, Cambodia, China, of course, Ecuador, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, as well as you can see in this table. Regarding the type of roadmap, we said that we have already 30, and roadmap means a publication that offers qualitative vision and high-level focus areas and action. Of course, a roadmap contains sufficient details of action and priority areas to subsequently produce more specific action plans, many of which plan of an annual and regular revision of the action plan. It means that in the roadmap is shown all the trajectory, all the measures, all the solution, and all the steps that is needed to be done. Here we can discuss about, for example, say about Belgium, Austria, Denmark, Greece, Portugal, Scotland, Sweden, and Wales, others countries. Operational strategy, we said that there are volume of them 18th. Strategy means the operational means a publication offering time-depending action, specified action owners, robust roadmap, governance strategy, and when possibly considering also financing of activities. Typically tends to have been adopted with an official program for government. Here we can show the example regarding with China, Denmark, Lithuania, Poland, Spain, Uruguay, and others. In totally, we have a volume of 75. As well, the overview of publication as well as development status of the countries announcing the publication from 1999 as Japan started with the circular economy strategy roadmap, yes, to 2023. We can say here that before 2018, only roadmaps and calls to actions were published, while since 2018. Of course, a significant proportion of publication have been operational strategies. Here we can add that moreover the number of roadmaps and strategies is expected to continue growing in such a way, and in addition to the publication assessed, the authors have identified as well as studied in the different scientific literature more than 10 plus roadmaps that have been announced to be produced over time of the publication in the assessment of the scientific journals and of course with impact factors. You can see here the overview of volume per publication tab among this one, and you can see of course the type of it, call to action as we have discussed already, roadmap and operational strategy between 1999 to 2023. As you see, you can see the volume of publication per different tabs that were rising up per year to year and differences between them. As we said, the overview of publication volume per geography, we can see here that in recent years, this figure, we can see that in recent years, there has also been a geographical shift. It is evident from this analysis that, of course, although the majority of publication, if you can see, here remained predominantly in Europe. You can see that Europe, since 2021 in this figure, there has been a rapid uptake in roadmaps and strategies beyond Europe, particularly as we speak about Latin America, Africa, and Asia. Yes, of course, in this figure it is shown that from 2021, Europe is rising up, uptaking all the roadmaps regarding the highest level. As presented, there has also been a shift in calls to action, roadmaps and strategies. You can see in this figure being developed in developing economies and economies in transition as well. And you can see this publication development per development as well. With these colors, we can see that we have some of them publication are in transition as well from 2022, but regarding the 2023, you can see they are already developed and of course they are in the process of developing. Let us see what is the overview of calls to action, roadmaps, and operational strategies across geography. We can see here all over the world different calls to action, roadmap, and operational strategies were being developed as well. You can see as we can speak about the European Union as well, more than it. You can see in higher measure here. The all was done in such a way. Let us speak about the governance and financing of national calls to action, roadmaps and operational strategy. Here, dear colleagues, really it is needed to know who will finance this, who from ministries of resort will participate, and who has the main task regarding in adopting circular economy policy, of course. The development of this cause, we can say that and see here it is regarding, and the figure shows that the host organization in the publication assessed, we can see that ministries as well with the orange color play a crucial role as roadmap strategy governance tends to sit within the remit of one of two government ministries. Primarily, we can say that regarding this one in development of calls, action roadmaps and operational strategy is regarding to Ministry of Environment. This might result in a lack of systematic and integrated government approach, of course, and to address this challenge, Interministerial Commission of or Advisory Committee were established for a few of the road maps. Here we can see government ministries who can assign to lead the roadmap development. You can see here that really majority of government ministries assigned to lead the roadmap development were environmental ministries, as you see in this figure. The number of it, if you can see down to the figure, it's in the total of 35 as presented in this figure. You can see different types of government ministry as well: environment, energy, industry, agriculture, education, planning, trade, resources, sustainable development, economy, production, finance, and mining. And of course, they all contribute in development and assigned to the roadmap development. But here we need to mention that the priority of it is according to the Ministry of Environment. Let us see the proportion of calls to action, roadmaps and operational actions funded by public versus donor fundings. Here we can see that there are two specified types of public funded by public or donor funding. We can see the share of it, 25 to 75, and in these terms of financing for the policy goals in a handful of roadmaps and strategies outlined the budget, but very few had secured sufficient funding to achieve the objectives. Here we can mention that, of course, dear colleagues, lack of roadmap financing for low and middle income countries remains a particular gap. As to say, donor funding sources include, we can say, OECD, European Union, GIZ, UNDP, and other NGO organizations who can be a donor of funding of this regulation regarding their budget, of course, their financing, but the highest amount share is regarding to the government, of course, because this is a contribution of the policy actions of the government as well. Let us see the example of roadmaps governance in such a way and steering mechanism. For example, we have here some few countries as well I have selected, and we can describe as an example regarding what we have said till now. Let us see what Colombia, the description of the governments, they really have a National Competitiveness and Innovation Commission, where they are meeting periodically to review the progress of the implementation of the National Circular Economy Strategy and emphasize the priorities of its implementation. Here, regional working groups will also be established regarding, as to say, about Greece, Italy, Republic of Korea, Portugal. Here we can say that they have a plan for creation of an interministerial commission Of course, here a decision-making structure, the political level chart with aligning the term of the circular economy with the work underway and to avoid duplication of effort. Regarding the Finland, we can say that the steering group for the circular economy program will report to the ministerial working group on climate and energy policy, and of course be responsible for and coordinate the implementation of the program. India, we can say about that in establishing the established a national circular economy authority. And of course, this National Circular Economy Authority would be responsible for developing and, of course, implementing the National Circular Economy strategy and coordinate in such a way the activities of different ministries and agencies and provide, of course, support to businesses and other stakeholders. Regarding the Netherlands, we can say that the governance and the mechanism is mandated for the Netherlands environmental assessment. And it produces annual integrated circular economy report to monitor progress and have, of course, produced sector-specific action plans. Regarding Austria, of course, we can laid about the examples of quantitative targets laid out in roadmaps, strategies, and goals. In such a way, we can identify in these tables the main priority objectives and scope of goals that are introducing in every country as well. For example, let us see together in the table regarding the Austria. The quantitative goal of roadmap is based on material footprint, reduced to 7 tons per capita and year by 2050, increasing domestic resource productivity by 50% by 2030, of course, increasing the circularity rate to 18% by 2030, and of course, reduction of the material consumption in private households by 10% by 2030. In such a way that we specified earlier that there are global goals, universal goals, but each country, each region can be adopt their quantitative goals in their circular economy roadmap regarding the adjusting to their necessity of countries. About Chile, we can say that they attacked on the following goals as generation of green jobs from 100,000 new jobs, yes, of course, to 180,000 new jobs. Generation of municipal solid waste per capita decrease from 10% decrease of 25% total waste generation. Gross consumption and decrease of 15% decrease of 30%, and of course we see here it is based on recycling. We can see about the rate of municipal solid waste increase to 40% increase to 65, of course. As recovery of sites affected by illegal dumping, recover of 50%, recover to 90% as well. This is the main quantitative roadmap goals as well. As we can speak about China here, they are putting on the quantitative target as well as increasing resource productivity by 20% compared to 2020 levels. In such a way, they reach the utilization rate of 86% for crop stocks, 60% for pulp, solid waste, and of course 60% for construction waste. In such a way, utilizing 60 million tons of waste paper and 320 million tons of scrap steel. About Colombia, to exemplify, we can say about the energy intensity, the rising, decreasing of the following by 2030, water productivity, of course, we can speak, they are based on greenhouse gas reduction from 0 to 20% by 2030. And of course, in they put a target as increase the rate of recycling and reuse of waste materials from established a point of percentage of 8.7% to 17.9% by 2030. About England, as to see, their goal quantitative is to work towards all plastic packaging placed on the market being recyclable, reusable, or compostable by 2025. Of course, to work towards eliminating food waste to landfill by 2030, and of course, to double resource productivity by 2050. And not in the end to eliminate avoidable waste of all kinds by 2050. Germany, of course, have a quantitative target for the circular economy of having the consumption of natural resources by 2050 has been defined. And finally, Finland, we can say about the consumption of non-renewable natural resources will decrease. And of course, the sustainable use of renewable natural resources may increase to the extent that the total consumption of primary raw materials in Finland in 2035 will not exceed what it was in 2015 as well, as to say, for example. And of course, here the profitability of resource will double by 2035 from what it was in 2015. France, of course, is based on the goal as reducing resource consumption linked to French consumption in relation to growth 30% by 2030 compared to 2010, reduce the GDP, reduce the quantities of non-hazardous waste sent to landfill by 50% by 2025, as you can see. And of course, they are based France on creating up new jobs, new additional jobs, as regarding the 300,000 additional jobs, including in new professions. Spain is based on the reducing food waste throughout the entire food chain. For example, here they are based on 50% reduction per person in retail and the households, and of course 20% in production chains and supplies from 2020. In such a way, they are based also as a quantitative roadmap goal to promote reuse and reuse enabling activities until reaching 10% of municipal waste. In such a way, they also put a target to improve water use efficiency by 10%. Here the equals, and you have the link also. You can after the lesson, I will provide you the presentation as well, and you can access the link, and you can put and manage on all these national in this SIG national circular economy roadmaps and strategies that are in the different stage of development, as well as in scoping, in development, call to action, roadmap, and of course operational strategy as well. As to see what does it mean on national circular economy roadmaps and strategies, here in scoping you can see with the blue color, of course, a government has indicated the intention to develop a roadmap, and in this scoping phase, of course, we can have in development that ensure that the government is currently in the process of developing a roadmap. Operational strategy with green color and white, we can see operational strategy outline time dependent actions, specified action known as a governance strategy, including monitoring and evaluation, and consider financing whenever possible. They tend to have been adopted with an official government program as well. Call to action, it means that national calls to actions aim to kickstart national dialogue and coordinated action on the circular economy and can serve as a critical precursor to a roadmap or strategy. National roadmaps offers, of course, qualitative. It is regarding to the long-term vision, outlining, high-level focus, of course, and based on priority areas and actions. Roadmaps also contains sufficient detail of policy actions and priority areas to, of course, subsequently produce more specific operational plans. Here at the last, and not the last, and not the end of our meeting, is all the list of circular economy strategies and roadmaps existing and implemented by policymakers in different countries. You can see here in the table of the country the title of the roadmap. For example, if you can see the France, they developed in 2018 the roadmap to a circular economy. The name of it is 50 Measures for a 100% Circular Economy. The type of it was recognized as operational strategy. Germany has a roadmap that was published in 2021, Circular Economy Roadmap for Germany. Greece, we have two of them. We have End Roadmap developed in 2018, and of course in 2021 we have Operational Strategy as well. About Japan, as we discussed, that they were the first one country who implemented in 1999 the circular economy vision. It was specified as a roadmap, dear colleagues, and as you see, you can hear the development of it. The first fundamental roadmap plan to establishing a sound material cycle society in 2003. The second one fundamental plan as a roadmap in 2008. We have the third one developed by them as in 2013, and of course the fourth one in 2018. And of course the last one, call to action that they proposed, is the Circular Economy Vision 2020. As you see, Japan is very development industrialized country that really they were the first, they recognized this type of regulation and policymakers, and they really developed till now. From 1999 we have here 5 roadmaps, and the last one is the call to action circular economy. All the countries practically that were published, I have identified for you. You can access the links and you can accept and to see what does it mean. You have accessing this link of the title of the roadmap or call actions or the operational strategy. You can find all the study, all the roadmap that was published on an official web page. Here we have Poland, that they have call to action and operational strategy developed in 2022, circular gap report, and of course they have a roadmap transformation towards the circular economy and operational strategy developed in 2019. As well, you can see other countries: United Kingdom, Uruguay, Slovakia, Spain, Romania. As Romania is near us, Republic of Moldova is near Romania, we don't have such a roadmap for circular economy. As to say for Romania, I can say that they have a national strategy for circular economy adopted in 2022 as a roadmap. Other countries, as you can see here the countries with a sustainable consumption, and of course a production strategy as of April 2024, the last news that was implementing and published in official literature of specialty. As well, you can see this sustainable consumption production at all developed all over the world, of course in these countries with us with the color of blue, that have this sustainable consumption and production strategy that was published at all. And at the end, dear colleagues, as to finish and then a conclusion to our lesson, I want to mention that regarding our lessons that I have described, because we cannot come to the circular economy policy and regulation as well and to give you as colleagues and students only this one. You need to learn and that's all. Not at all. You need to understand why the policy makers why, what are the policy goals at a universal level, and why it is existing, and we need to have a complementary in all the regulation, in all the policy makers regarding the government, regarding the businesses models, regarding the companies, regarding the foundations different that organizing is. We need to have a common global goal based on a roadmap on circular economy target that will need to implement that trajectory that will be developed further in all the regulations, in all the laws, in all the regulations that will be implementing further as well. Call to action. What it is needed? It is needed at all to have and initiate a national and coordinated action on the circular economy action plan as well. Here, it is needed to be explicitly conducted as a precursor to a roadmap or strategy. First of all, we need to have a call to action. After that, we'll be implementing a roadmap. What does it mean? In summary, this is a qualitative long-term vision, a high-level focus on priority areas and actions, and of course, is sufficient details of policy actions and priority areas to produce more specific operational plans. In such a way, adopted with an official government program, the roadmap is showing all the targets, all the steps that is needed to be with all the measures and solutions that will needed to be implemented in action plan. And of course, the last one, operational strategy. This depends on time-depending objective action. This is specified action owners, governance strategies, which monitoring and evaluation, of course, in financing whenever possible, and of course, adopting with an official government program as well. Dear colleagues, I want to mention that it is very important for us in this lesson to understand why it is needed to go to circular economy, to develop it, and what are the actions to do it, and to develop the first one steps, and to describe the trajectory of development, because we said that only with promotion of renewable energy sources, it is not enough. We need to promote circular economy in all the spheres, in all the domains, not only in the energy sector. And this way we will create, we will stimulate, and advantage will increase, of course, all our power strengthening in getting to neutral climate change till 2050 as well, and only together we can improve it and to make it work. That's why, dear colleagues, I want to thank you for your attention. I want to thank you for this lesson, but it is not enough, because I want to find out from you some suggestions, some questions, and if it is something that you didn't understand, but I hope everything was very clear. I'm very open to answer to your questions, and of course, I appreciate a lot you coming to my lessons, and hope not to be the last time, as we will see the next time on the 9th of June, as Ruchira said. In such a way, I want to thank you for your attention, dear colleagues, and could you tell me what it is not clear, and I will answer to all your questions, and everything we will discuss here, because we have minutes of discussing as well. I can hear some messages. We can hear, yes. Rushira, do you have any questions? Do you have any suggestions as well, dear colleagues? Let me write to...
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Uh, I saw that there are many countries' policies and roadmap, but there are no any roadmap for Sri Lanka? What do you think about that? Why there is such a roadmap for Sri Lanka, not policies and anything making for that?
We also don't have in the Republic of Moldova any roadmap regarding this, but we have a lot of legislation regarding energy sector as well and promoting renewable energy sources. But I think today's lesson will help our colleagues, our master degree level students to understand, and maybe in their country they will promote the actions as we have discussed today.
Yes, well.
Because specified it is more clear for what we are doing it. Because everyone said we don't need this because we are working in the domain of energy or domain of mechanical or domain of industry or something else. My business, I'm doing business, but all these domains, all these fields are correlated to the circular economy. As we will understand this theme, we can share further and we can promote our business, our industry, our sector that we are working, and we can improve our company strategy as well. Any comments, any suggestion? I want to hear you, dear colleagues.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, doctor. Am I audible to you? Hello.
Hello. I'm here, Derivan.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your very insightful lecture. But I have one question that we discuss about the policy regulations, roadmaps that exist in the world. But what are the challenges we face while implementing these policies or regulation roadmaps? For example, that we know that in March that U.S. government they withdrew from the Paris Agreement uh, conditions, and also China, like countries like China being the largest energy consumers, they don't have much into this field. So how we can tackle these problems in policy making? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good questions as well. But you were looked to the last on much of the United States are not including in the Paris Agreement as well, we know. But here it is not only United States. We have existing also 197 countries as well that are promoting Paris Agreement. And don't forget about European Union, they had 27 countries as well. Regarding China, as I have been also in China, I want to say that their significant industrialization and magnitude of this one, they put their targets, but they will not didn't accept regarding European Union as well, Paris Agreement till 2050, the target as well, as we know. But China is being the more industrialization country as well, as you know, and have the biggest pollution, they put their targets till 2060 year as well. But I think that from March till us, we have a lot of country as well, not only based on United States. I think it was more political as well, but all the countries regarded global union as well on climate change, they accept Paris Agreement, and as well our countries as not being a member state of European Union, we also accept it, are implementing this one policies regarding circular economy, renewable energy sources as well, and implementing Paris Agreement as well, because we have legislation that we adopt this one. But I understand the question. The biggest one, China approved it because the targets they are till 2060, but the United States here, but without United States, we have a lot of countries, more than 150 countries as well, that we are promoting this one. Let us see two others, because the main task is on all the countries as well. And as I have said about European Union, these are the they are the leaders in climate change. They promoted it, and they decided to be the first region till 2050 neutral climate as well, to reduce greenhouse gas emissions as well to zero regarding the level of 1990 year as well. And I can move on as I have shown to you this one. That we can promote this part because from 2021 European Union has rising up to all these strategies and roadmaps as well. Thank you very much for your questions. Any other? Let me write. What kind? Yes, for Sri Lanka, we can initiate regarding you, as I have explained to you. It's more adaptable to you to have a plan, action plan. I think so, because this one can help. But I have said, we are doing on the country level, we need to get a requirement on this to have an action plan. And after that, it is if it is significant, we can start and develop a roadmap as well as a strategy as well, because the steps and the inputs are different as well. Be conjunction with regulation to succeed. Can regulation, just me read, come after roadmap? How does the instance help a better circular economy, especially in energy and environment? Yes, here we can say that roadmap can be conjunction with regulation to succeed. But first of all, will be the regulation, and after that roadmap, because they are putting the main task on it. Because roadmap shows us the actions, the real actions, the trajectory, that travel that we were discussing direction, that will need to be introduced as well, the types. And of course, in roadmap, it is needed to be shown who is responsible for this action to be implemented as well. This is it, because we need to specify this one, and after some years, some time, this evaluated as well. We have an assessment of it, and of course we can do it and see that if it is implementing or no on this case. How can ensure products consumed in other markets? Yes, about China, I can say that but we really can say that their target is 2060, not 2050 as well. And they have enough time to promote and to do it in their products consumed on territories and ensure the circularity of their products. Because I have been in China and I saw that they have already different sorted the waste. They have already all this one circular economy implemented as well. But regarding the biggest pollution, of course, they will need more time to do it and to achieve it. Any other questions, dear colleagues? Let me see. From my students, if it is possible. Do you have any questions?
Excuse me, one more questions.
Yes, please.
What are the policies still not started or not yet? It's going to started or stimulated, but still not there aren't.
Once again, please, at the end, what did you say? What kind of policies?
In the circular economy, mainly for Asian countries, there is a needed some policies, but still they are not started. What are that policies do you think still they are not started? But if they started, they can path the circular economy.
They didn't start in what? If they didn't start the circular economy policy as well, Yes, there are countries that didn't start the circular economy, but the main task on the global level, as you said, United Nations framework work on climate change. This is the main important document that to be accessed in climate change as well. And this on the global level, it is according to this one that will need be promoting. As you have said, Paris Agreement as well. But the main task, this is the newest one. As you have seen, I have related that all the circular economy roadmaps are interconnected. Till this one, these terms of circular economy was the waste, no waste, low waste, as for example. But it declined also circular economy, but it was with another aspect of terms, the sortation, the transport of waste as well, how to produce low waste, no waste at all. But appearing the recycling and the reusable and remanufacturing appeared after that and introduced it in circular economy in a circular round sphere that can be connected without any end and infinite, of course. Here needs to work different ministry, different governments at all, because we can't speak only, we speak about Ministry of Economy regarding circular economy. No, we speak about Ministry of Environment because it is, as you said, what does it mean? It is biodiversity, this is protection of the nature, and of course, this is climate change, reducing greenhouse gas emissions as well. And regarding this, we cannot use these terms of circular economy, but it is expected to be this one. But the trend of years, as you have seen from 2016, this is to promote the circular economy, not to do as well in 2 words, not to have any waste at all, to reduce the waste to zero. This doesn't mean circular economy as well. As for you to understand this one. And in this regarding to the United Nations framework of climate change, it is going down because there are a global policy level. After that, on the global, what I'm saying to my students also that there is existing the main global policy level as well. United Nations framework on Convention on Climate Change. This is the main. After that, you have seen from 2015 there is were adopted the Paris Agreement to reduce 1.5 degrees the temperature as well, and to reduce greenhouse gas emissions as well. After that, all the countries adopt this as well. In this United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, there are 198 countries. You said United States went away. Not at all. It's okay, they went away. But it remained in this United Nations 197 countries. As well, they promote and adopted in their legislation this Paris Agreement. Regarding to this, they need to do some actions. These actions are regarding promoting renewable energy sources, clean energy sources, yes? But the studies establish that it is not enough. Not enough for what? Because the Paris Agreement and the United Nations Framework on Climate Change say that it is needed to reduce greenhouse emission to zero, yes, to 2050. And in this way, what have done European Union? They had a target to reduce this one, greenhouse emissions, to 2030 to 45%. And when they identified in some regulation and in some actions that they will not achieve in 2050 this 100% of reducing, they changed the target. And that's why in European Union, 2 years ago, they changed the target in reducing not to 30%, but to 45%, but to 55% to achieve neutral climate change in 2050. These are working the policies. They are getting from up to bottom. And that's why every country needs to adjust their regulation, their policies regarding what they adopted, what they engaged to have, and in what consortium they are existing as a country. And from this level, they introduce promoting energy efficiency as well. It is also correlated to circular, promoting renewable energy sources, doing some circular economy, waste recycling, and others regulation for one basic goal to reduce greenhouse gas emissions till 2050. This is a priority of policy. Do you have any questions, suggestions? Not hesitate to ask me, because we are colleagues. We will discuss together and we will understand why these policies are doing, because only understanding for what we need, we can create working as you in different companies, business, in universities. You have a key role in adopting, in implementing, and informing for everyone what it is needed to be. It is not only my to say that I want so. It is not only what you want. It is not that to say that everyone else at ministry wants, the president of a country wants. No, this is at the global level, because this is really, the scientists notice that we have a very big dangerous for our generation. That's why through laws, through regulation, through legislation, this is doing for all of us, and we as citizens, and we as policymakers, as being working, we can develop, we can promote policies in circular economy, not only for our future generation, dear colleagues. This is the meaning of policies. Everyone is thinking the policy is bad, but we are doing legislation, not at all. But it is a very big thing. We need to understand and to promote this one, because regarding this, we will help our generation to get in touch, to do it, as well as I have explained you today. Maybe in the future, you will develop that action plan, that roadmap, and you will be the key actor in implementing the roadmap on the circular economy. And you will
Yes,
come
no,
to the
I
lesson.
have
Yes.
I have a question
Yes.
that we are targeting that the zero waste, that is the target is given, say 2050 or 2060. So that means we will have to look for or develop a sustainable the raw material supply for the production units. So is there any the policy, or is there any development or any research on the sustainable raw materials, especially in plastic industries? It is one of the challenging area that right now. It is giving a lot of the environmental pollution, and even though there is the circular principle is introduced in plastic technology, we are doing recycling and reusing, but even though as you mentioned, like China is they are implementing the roadmap and they are working on their country, but they are sending out of their country to other countries, like like a very inferior quality of the plastic product that is giving a serious issue. Is there any concern on this matter, please?
Here we need, yes, I understand you, that you are clear that they have a legislation on circular economy that are improving and giving us this plastic that are not useful for our countries. I understand you very well. But there existing legislation on plastic as well. We know that there existing 7 types of plastic as well in this one, and not all the plastic can be recycled. At the lessons we are doing the recycling of plastic, how it is working, and teaching the students in such a way from the master degree level as well, you have seen here. But at 12 there need to be, as we have discussed to here in the universal goals, to be implementing the penalties, the taxes of all products that are exported from China as well, from different countries that are not useful and that are dumped from other countries as well. That's why the global legislation, it is needed to be introduced as a new universal global on a circular economy. Some countries introduce, for example, as me being a country, I'm not letting regarding the legislation to be important in my country such products as you said from China as well that are not expected to be as promoting circular economy. There is the legislation to export and to import some regulation of those products that are exporting from countries, or if they have some requirements to be introduced with some levels and points, and to give certificates, vouchers, and to have this etiquette of disponibility of clean energy, clean product, as to say. It is needed to be implemented each country on the board to import and to export what kind of product it is permitted to be introduced in your country. In such a way, you as a country will protect your citizens and your country from different products that are not expected to be promoting as circular economy. This is the answer. Thank you very much. As the policymakers need to do it. Any questions, suggestions, dear friend? If not, shall we finish the lesson? Or something recommendation? Or something characterization as well? Who wants to speak? I understand that in your country, Sri Lanka, is too late, and you are really have a tide. You are tired.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the Sri Lanka, our country is, the system is concerned. We have actually, from A to Z in the environmental ministry and the top level up to the local authority also, they are having environmental department in the district and the provincial, even every, the small sector level, it is there. But implementing this circular economy policy, at least the waste management system, it is, I believe that as the manufacturing side, in my experience, if Sri Lankan government, if they think they can easily implement, since they are having the network in the as I mentioned in this environmental ministry up to the rural level. This is, all the Sri Lankans are here, but actually, the circular economy, if Sri Lankan government, if they started implementing, not only the government, we, the public, and we started, and we will generate a lot of economical development and also generate a lot of, the job opportunities. As I know, and I'm involving in plastic, many Indians, they are merchants, they are coming to Sri Lanka and they are collecting the plastic waste and they are exporting to India. So the Sri Lankans have failed to do that one, and still we have to think very seriously in this case to address to the government and authorities to look into this matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. It is really very important as well. Really understand this one because you are near these countries as well, and you need to implement this one. There is questions about would be realistic to implement into a bot circular. Yes, I think so, because you have a lot of significant progresses regarding the legislation, regarding the promotion of renewable energy sources as well. And of course, introducing new technologies, you will need to introduce recycling, you will need to introduce reusing, you will need to introduce the second life of batteries, as we discussed, because we will need to to get a long term of life of all the issues, all the products as well. What are doing European Union citizens? They are using a product and they are getting longer with this one. They are not buying another one. They are using, reusing, recycling another one, but using the same product as well. I think that it is eligible in a country to develop such a policy, because you have a good development as well, and you have a very big promotion and development in the policies and regulation as well. I have participated in some trainers and webinars from your country, and I think agricultural photovoltaic as well, combined agriculture with photovoltaic solution. Was really impressed with that webinar that I was participated in your country, in Sri Lanka. And I think you have very good chance to promote this one, and in few years you can have and can be proud of it. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, dear students, dear colleagues. For me, it is important to name we are colleagues, not professors, not students, but we are colleagues because the world is small and we can meet each other. It depends in Europe, in other countries as well, and you can become a very good policy maker as well in the future. And I want to congratulate you that you have chosen such a master degree level in circular economy. And of course, you have my openness, my kindness, and my understanding. If you have any questions, any favor, I will disseminate the presentation to Ruchira as well, and he will disseminate with you, share with you the presentation. And I hope to see you all on the 19th of June with the second one lecture, as well on sustainable development goals and circular economy. And here we will discuss the sustainable development goals, as I have said, about United Nations Framework Convention on climate change. And here you will see the concrete steps, how it is doing on the highest level, a global level, and how it is implementing on circular economy by doing from the global to the local level as well. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, for the lessons. See you on the 19th of June, and wish you a good evening for everyone.